Well, President Obama has once said that elections have consequences. And you know, I have to agree with him there. The consequences of the 2008 elections are now all too apparent.
We won't stop fighting until we send Barack Obama back to Chicago.
It's time for change that we can believe in. Mitt Romney for president and the Republicans.
How will we do this? You must have conviction, which you do or you would not be here.
We do not need reform, we need to replace stuff. And there's a lot of stuff we need to replace, including the guy that's occupying the White House.
We hear Obama is a socialist. Obama is a Manchurian candidate. He's manipulated by other guys.
I want to ask you a question. Do we want that in Texas?
Texans, you get it.
We are fighting to ensure that America remains a dynamic, innovative, and upwardly mobile society. That is the message that Republicans will bring to our fellow citizens, and that is the message we will bring to defeat Barack Obama.
This means we leave it all on the field. This means we do everything to get our country back. This is it. And you know what's going to happen? On Wednesday morning, November the 7th, we're going to wake up and we're going to look back and we're going to know this is the first day where we get our country back on track. Thank you very much for listening.
Regifting. What a fascinating concept. And so I would like to do some regifting, if you would allow at this moment. The thing I would like to regift to you is this document. You call it the Declaration of Independence, but you could have just as easily called it the Declaration of Dependence, because in its preamble, it says that we have unalienable rights given to us by our Creator, by the laws of nature and nature's God. It makes you unique among nations that you have these rights that are even given by an authority greater than government. This is the gift that has been given to you, if you can keep it. Then in the middle of this document, it said we do not appeal to the Crown of England, but to the great Judge of the world, to weigh our cause, and if he finds it just, to bless us, and bless he did. You are witness to that. You are here because those freedoms have been given to you. And at the very end of this document, we said that we rely firmly on the providence of Almighty God. This is where we will find strength. As we draw our line in the sand, I thank you for being here, for standing firm for the Republic as Republicans, and you can, if you will but follow your heart and follow the declaration that has been given to you as a gift, and I re-gift to you at this time. Stand firm on those principles on which the foundation has been laid for this nation, and you and generations after you will be blessed.
You may have heard that President Obama's new campaign slogan is forward. That's actually a pretty good message for him because, as Jay Leno said, he's basically telling voters, whatever you do, don't look back at all this broken campaign promises out there. said that elections have consequences. And you know, I have to agree with you there. The consequences of the 2008 elections are now all too apparent. Skyrocketing debt, runaway spending, regulatory power grabs, and the worst economic recovery in the modern era. Everyone in this room understands what's at stake in November. Everyone. We are headed for a dramatic showdown between two competing visions of the American future. President Obama and his Democratic allies have made their vision crystal clear. They want to raise taxes and create a European-style welfare state. This has been the liberal dream for half a century, and it remains the liberal dream today. But we Republicans have a different vision. We want to revive America's founding principles. We want to restore limited government and rejuvenate the great American job machine. We want to ease the tax and regulatory burden on small businesses and entrepreneurs. And we want the 21st century to be yet another American century. Republicans understand that the debate over big government is not simply an economic debate. It is fundamentally a moral debate. We understand that the consequences of government overreach go far beyond lost jobs and crippled budgets. The problems in Europe show us that big government can transform the very character of nations. When we fight to defend the free enterprise system, we are fighting to preserve the values that have made this country so successful and so prosperous. We are fighting to ensure that America remains a dynamic, innovative, and upwardly mobile society. That is the message that Republicans will bring to our fellow citizens, and that is the message we will bring to defeat Barack Obama. When we look back over the last 3.5 years, we see nothing but a trail of broken promises. We were promised a strong economic recovery. Instead, we got the weakest economic recovery since World War II. President Obama promised us that the federal budget deficit would be cut in half. Instead, we got the largest deficits in American history. President Obama promised us the most transparent administration of all time. Instead, we got an administration that has repeatedly stonewalled investigations into Fast and Furious. We're not through. We were promised sweeping ethics reforms and a crackdown on lobbyists. Instead, we got crony capitalism run amok, from auto bailouts to the stimulus to Obamacare to Solyndra. We were promised hope and change. Instead, we got Dodd and Frank. In 2008, some Americans thought they were electing a moderate centrist committed to bipartisan solutions. Instead, we got the most polarizing liberal Democrat in recent memory. We now have a president who campaigns on class warfare and who's obsessed with raising taxes on job creators. I want to ask you a question. Do we want that in Texas? We have a president who condemns Wall Street one day and who asks for their money the next day. Do we want that in Texas? We have a president who demonizes American energy producers. Do Do we want that in Texas? We have a president who secretly whispers to Russian leaders that he will cut back on our missile defense system after winning re-election. Do we want that in Texas? We have a president who's spending $20 million of your hard-earned taxpayer money to promote a health care law that most Americans strongly oppose. Do we want that in Texas? Finally, we have a president whose attorney general launches outrageous partisan attacks on common sense voter ID laws. Let me ask you one last time. Is that what we want in Texas?